Hey gang, Baltmatrix here, and a couple of weeks ago I bought an Intel NUC from my local micro center. I bought the actual NUC, or Next Unit of Computing. It's a super tiny desktop. I bought some RAM, a hard drive, a little M.2 hard drive, M.2 hard drive, and an internal 4 terabyte 2.5-inch laptop drive. So I'm going to show you what went into building it and putting it together. This is a new piece of kit that I just picked up over at Micro Center, which is a kind of like a Fry's here on the East Coast. And I picked this up because, quite frankly, I am tired of having to use my gaming PC for watching all of my son's shows. So I can put all of his stuff on this, on the TV, and then I can play my gaming PC with a monitor, keyboard, and mouse on my standing desk, which is next to our TV. So I went ahead and picked this up. It comes with a Core i5 processor inside, has support for an M.2 SSD and a 2.5-inch hard drive. Cost around $330. That was what the cost of the unit was with. That was the cost of the unit with the shell. I also picked up a 4 terabyte 2.5-inch hard drive, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 128 gig SSD. So we're going to go ahead and open up this Intel NUC and we can see what's inside. I've gone ahead and removed the plastic wrapping and we're opening it for the first time. So looks like the top just kind of slides off. So we'll just pop that off. Here is the NUC, or the computer itself. It's actually pretty heavy for its size. Bunch of little itty bitty stuff. So we have Intel SSD, assembly kit, another instruction kit, some other pamphlets, and I don't know what that is. And then we have this extra mounting bracket. This is a VESA mount that you can mount on either the back of a monitor or a wall or something. A whole bunch of screws. And then the power supply, which is just your standard laptop power supply. The actual computer itself is very small, and it has a very small footprint. It's only about 4 inches by 4 inches in length, and half the height of a Titan Master Legends class figure. Roughly half the height. So it's very, very tiny, and it's meant to be an HTPC, otherwise known as a computer you plug into a television. So we'll go ahead and remove the plastic, and then we'll go ahead and... I need a bigger screwdriver. We'll go ahead and take the screws off the bottom and then start putting things together. So all we need to do is loosen these screws so that we can then open it up via, finger strength. Once all the screws are done, we can then pull the bottom panel off like that. And this is the mounting bracket for the 2.5-inch hard drive. And then we have the inside of the computer. So here is the SATA connector for the hard drive, the actual power for the hard drive, RAM slots, and then the mounting point for the SSD. Unfortunately, I've discovered that the 4 terabyte hard drive that is supposed to be a laptop hard drive will not fit in this unit. It's too big. It's too thick to fit in the bracket case here. So we'll go ahead and put in the RAM. And then we'll put in the 128 gig hard drive. So the RAM snaps right in and connects right in. And then we'll go ahead and attach the hard drive. Next, for mounting the SSD, we first take a smaller screwdriver and undo this screw that is all the way up here in the corner. And then we will put the SSD in place after we fish out the screw that we just dropped. So then we take the hard drive, pop it in the connector, push it in gently, and then slide it back and attach the screw. So I also have this old 128 gig SSD that I'm going to go ahead and put in the unit. It'll just be temporary until I can get a larger capacity hard drive, but it's just going to be for some shows for my son and then video streaming, so it's not that big a deal. So all we're going to do is just line it up and slide it in. Maybe. Because, wow, getting a hard drive in this thing is tight. All right, getting that in was not
actually very easy. Okay, so now that everything is in, we could go ahead and put the unit back together. So we need to find the front of the computer and the front section there, and then just get everything lined up and drop it into place and tighten up some screws. And we're done. All that's left is to install an operating system, which in my case, I'm going to be using Linux. I haven't decided which flavor yet. I might be using Ubuntu or Ubuntu Mate, or I might go with a little bit something a little bit more robust like Antigros or some form of Arch. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick little build and assembly of an Intel NUC.
Now, at the end of all of that, the unit didn't freaking work at all. I tried swapping in different hard drives. I tested the hard drive in one of my desktops. I tried a bunch of different things. The RAM was bad also. The hard drives were both bad. Well, no, the M.2 hard drive was bad. The 4 terabyte hard drive wouldn't fit into the unit. And the NUC just didn't post, meaning it didn't boot up. So everything I bought from Micro Center was bad except the hard drive. I ended up having to return everything. So I went online and found these Asus models of micro desktops, and it's turned out to be really good. It's definitely about twice as big as an Intel NUC in lengthwise. So the Intel NUC is about this big, and the thing I bought is about that big. It's not super tiny, but it's been super reliable. I've got it running upstairs. I put Ubuntu on it, took it with no problem. The only 2 complaints I can even levy about this Asus product, it takes about 10 seconds to post, which is just odd. I've never seen a machine that does that other than slow laptops. And getting the hard drive getting into the machine is ridiculous. It was something like 16 screws just to open the machine up to get to the hard drive. And then it was additional 8 screws to get to the hard drive chassis. I mean, it was bonkers. MacBooks have less screws than that. So overall, my NUC experience was just bad. It just was. And I had to go with something different. I had to get another machine. Now, what I'm probably going to do is going to buy a different small form factor machine and use that Asus machine as kind of like a cloud machine, or not a cloud machine, I should say, like a virtual machine or a virtual desktop host. Hypervisor, that's what they're called. Duh, hypervisor. So overall, I think the NUC is a great idea, and these smaller machines and systems on chips are really, really cool. It just sucks that when you get a bad one, it makes the whole experience crappy. So gang, that's just kind of a quick look and show of what the NUC is and what I ended up having to do with it. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I'm going to keep doing them. Probably, instead of doing once a week, I'm going to try and do them once every 2 weeks. Just because production it's a lot to produce these stupid little things. I'll catch you later. Bye!